Happy Wednesday. My name is Joanne. I am the marketing director here with Legendary Marketer. And once again, another day of the week, another phenomenal guest for you. Before we bring our today's guest on, let's do a couple housekeeping items. First and foremost, if you want to get any of the Legendary merch, the hat just like Dave throws down, you want to do your own hat throwdown, sweatshirts, t-shirts, gray hoodies, white t-shirts, phone cases, towels, anything, you name it, we probably got it in there. Go check it out at belegendary.shop. It's very easy. It's just all Legendary merch. Shipping takes about a week or so. And go grab yourself some Legendary gear. Next, we've had a lot of new people on lately watching the show. If you would like to get a text reminder of when we go live, we only send out a reminder right just a few minutes after we hit live with a link right to the live episode. So you won't get spammed and all of that. Text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553. And it is only the letters WUL. Don't add, please sign me up, WUL, then it won't work. You'll have problems. So just the letters WUL to 813-296-8553. All right. Without further ado, give me some emojis. Give me some hearts. Happy Wednesday. Whatever we need. Let's get pumped for our guest today. Please welcome Rachel to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so nice to have you. I know in the title we have what you got cooking because you used to be a chef, but you're a whole variety of things. You're a military spouse, right?
Yes.
That's a whole other job in itself.
Yes, it is.
You're a mom. You have a lot of things going on. You're super busy. So share with all of us, how did you find Legendary? What were you looking for?
Yeah. So I have been a stay-at-home mom for about 6 years now, and I was totally fine doing that. You know, we managed with a budget and all of that. And then both my kids were in school full-time this year. So I was like, okay, I'll find something I can do on the side, a little bit here and there. And so I started, I was actually cleaning houses a little bit. I started doing Shipped, which is here in Michigan. I think it's like grocery delivery.
Yeah.
But none of that was really like, it was okay, but it just didn't really seem like it was working out great. And so one day on Instagram, I saw somebody sharing about making money and how they only worked 1 to 2 hours a day. And I watched that for about a month, but then it was actually really good timing. I had I volunteer part-time also for a Bible study that I go to and help run a children's program. So that's a couple days a week. It's a significant chunk of my time. And so I needed something to work around that as well. So yeah, the timing hit well that I had a break from that right before Christmas and just jumped on the challenge and went from there.
And a break right before Christmas. I'm thinking this is a really, really little break. You are busy. I'm tired of the list that I heard about. Like 2 weeks. And we all know Christmas is crazy.
Right, it is.
And you felt like that was when you had a free moment to breathe and try something new. I love it. I love it.
Gotta grab it when you can.
So how long had you seen content about the challenge or about making money online before you actually dove into the 15-day challenge?
About a month. But I feel like if the timing hadn't been right, I probably would have sat on it longer just because I am very cautious and a hesitant person, especially with stuff like that. My husband has been talking about getting into real estate investing for a while. And I'm always the one who's like, that sounds a bit risky. I don't know if we should do that. But like I said, the timing was right. I was like, what else do I have to lose at that point? So, yeah.
Very cool. So, did you go through the challenge fast? Like, when did you launch your socials and all of that?
So it was like mid-December that I first signed up for the challenge.
Hmm.
Like you said, it was still a busy time. So I did it pretty much day by day. I did get on a call with my business plan advisor right away, though, so that helped
Hmm.
things move along. And then I launched my socials like mid-January.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right. So you have had, guys, she's had absolutely blown up on Instagram. Everyone has their channel, their platform, right? Um,
Yep.
Rachel's is definitely, she is on TikTok, but Instagram has a massive following of
Yeah.
over 70,000, I believe. It might be higher
Yeah.
than that at this point when I last looked.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
did you start just there first? Did you start on TikTok? What was your process with starting on platforms?
I did start on TikTok, and like I
Mhm.
feel like most people on the show, I had never even had a TikTok account before. So that was definitely a learning curve. But I had been on Instagram for a while, mostly like I hardly post anything in my personal life. So mostly just as an observer. But that is the platform I felt most comfortable with. And now I'm on Facebook as well. It took me a while. This is like one of those things where we know we're not going to launch perfectly. We make mistakes. We look back and we see like, oh, I should have done that sooner, but you just have to move on. But I stayed away from Facebook for a while just because I was nervous. Like I just felt like I knew too many people on Facebook and I didn't want people to
Right,
see what I was
right,
doing right away.
right.
Um, but Instagram is where I was most comfortable. So I do feel grateful that that's where I've had the most traction because it's
Mhm.
been easy for me to navigate more and communicate with people on there. Yeah.
I this is my advice to everyone over and over and over and again is when you're starting out, look at the platform that you go on as a user the most, because that's the one you're most comfortable with, and you're going to perform better as a content creator just because you know it better. It's more like a
Right.
friend, like you're comfortable, you know how everything
Yep.
works, you understand the engagement, the synergy with stories, and you just get it. And that
Mhm.
goes with any platform. Some are really into Facebook, then that's where you should start. Some just really love consuming content on TikTok. Awesome, go start there. And most usually that's also where you see the best performance because you're just automatically on the platform more.
Right. That makes total sense. Yeah. Yeah.
So, what, okay, day one, you're going through all of your education. Did you go
Mhm.
through all the blueprints first, or did you go a little bit, implement, a little bit, implement?
I went through most of it first. And it is very easy to get overwhelmed. I was reflecting back on that, and there's just so much. It's a somewhat simple concept, but there's just so much coming at you that's brand new that it is
Right.
overwhelming. But I tried to just like do like an hour to 2 hours maybe each day to just kind of take it in and absorb it, so I wasn't so overwhelmed and could kind
Mhm.
of grasp that before I moved on to the next thing.
Very cool. All
Yeah.
right. Now, here's the question everybody asks. How did you decide what to post first?
Um, I actually, I was super nervous to start posting myself. So I took a video of me walking my dog. It was just a video of my dog, just saying like, I can do this in the middle of the day kind of post.
Mhm.
But then very quickly, I'm like, I just have to, if if I don't just jump in and do it, then it's not going to happen. So the next couple videos were of me, I think, sharing side hustles and just
Right.
getting on there. So it's just like rip the band-aid off kind of a thing after that first post.
I love it. I think that's good
Yeah,
that you were walking the dog. And it's all about sharing those micro moments.
yeah,
You know, the saying goes, share your story, share your story, share your story. And I recommend don't just share your story, share your stories.
right.
All the
Yeah,
tiny little stories of your day. You know, if you don't know what to talk about, what are you texting your best friend about? What videos are you sending your spouse? What are you complaining to your partner about?
Right. Yeah.
Those are all your little stories of the day that will connect you to other people, because those are the conversations you have with real people to build friendships and relationships.
Yep.
And that's what you
Exactly.
bring into social media. When you
Yep.
hear that, what comes up for you?
That's totally it. And I feel so grateful that now, the kind of the common thing on social media is not to be picture perfect and to share your real life, because I would never have even started if that was the case. I'm definitely critical of myself. So seeing others share real, like just normal, maybe no makeup, maybe you're in a mess kind of things, um, has really helped me to be able to share that stuff too, because yeah, I'm just thankful that
Yeah.
that's the age that we're in right now, and we're not in that Pinterest perfect stage
Mhm.
anymore.
Right.
Um,
Okay, so
yeah.
let's tackle this. It's in the comments. Why do you need to share stories if the goal is to make money? So ultimately, we can't show up and just sell.
No.
We have to build a community. We have to build online friends, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. And then we recommend things just like we do in real life to our friends. We recommend those things to our followers. But the way you bring in a community is to share moments of you, your personality, your brand,
Mm-hmm.
so that you pull in people that are like you and that are
Yeah.
your ideal audience, is who
Right.
you're going after. If you want to sell and be an affiliate for a bunch of different fishing products and fishing courses, you need to have a lot of videos about your experience with fishing or silly moments of day to day and bait and trouble with the boat or whatever it is, and draw
Right.
in that audience, right?
Yep.
So stories help you build your following, and you can't make money unless you have somebody to talk to
Right.
that's connected to you.
Right.
So
Sorry, my dog.
yeah, I can't even hear the dog. So
Okay.
you're good. So I hope that helps people understand that's what we mean by stories. It's helping build connection
Mm-hmm.
and drawing in your ideal audience for whatever it is in whatever niche that you're promoting. Did
Right.
you have trouble identifying your audience?
Um, Not, I mean, I knew like, so with my story of starting this, it was because I wanted to find something that was super flexible, that I could do from home, that actually made, a decent income. Because there's
Mhm.
other things, like I looked at other options out there, and for your time, this is just, I felt like the best opportunity. So being able to talk to other moms who are in maybe that situation, like it's a big struggle that moms have to be able to find something maybe they're passionate about or that they can do that helps, the family finances, that doesn't either like wear them ragged or really infringe on family time, or make them feel like they need to be everywhere at once and then always feeling guilty about either not being at work or not being with family. So um,
Mhm.
that just kind of came naturally, I guess, because after being a mom for almost 9 years, like that, I've been able to see that aspect so well.
Right. Right. And being a military spouse, your husband was away
Hmm.
for some of this time as well.
Hmm.
So you kind of have that. You're not a single mom, but you're
Yeah.
kind of a single mom, right? There's
Sure
like
felt like it for a while.
I think a lot of people also can relate to what
Yeah.
that feels like,
Yeah.
and what that goes through.
Right.
And so you can't be gone from the
No,
house.
no. You can't rely on your spouse to bring kids here if you have to work or, yeah. And
Yeah.
even with kids in school, it's like you're still, I mean, you're still just as busy. You're running around doing all kinds of things still. You might get little extra pockets of quiet time here and there, but
Hmm.
it still requires a ton of your time and attention.
Yeah, totally. So speaking of your schedule and little pockets of quiet time, how do you schedule it in to stay consistent?
Um, so I like have certain days where I do have pockets of time. So I do try to create, batch content there because I know I'll have the time. So I blocking out parts of my schedule. After the kids go to bed, that's a lot of times when I'm responding to DMs or comments on videos and things like that.
Right.
And then sometimes it's just kind of random, like, oh, I know I have an extra 20 minutes right now. I'm going to sit down and do something, I'm going to work on something. And I try to keep a list of things I want to accomplish so that when I do have that time, I know what to get to.
You know what to focus on.
Yeah. Yep.
Focus on things that will actually help keep moving your business forward
Yeah.
instead of all the fluff that maybe won't.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to get caught up in just, scrolling on social media, even if you're like looking for ideas and things that time just goes by quickly. So if you know what you want to accomplish, then it's easier to be able to get to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have my daughter off in the. Okay, she's good. She's homesick
Okay.
today.
Do you need to go save her?
No, I think she's just grabbing a snack, but we're good.
I was doing a interview with M. Walcott, and I think one of her kids like fell down a couple of the stairs, like behind her. Her mom was there, and I'm like, do you need to go do anything? You good?
Right. Oh, yep. And that's just real life.
If you need
That's
to
why
shoot
this
off,
works.
to Seaver, definitely do that. Don't feel like you have to stay on.
No, she's good.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, totally. It's real life, and that's what's so amazing about this business. You can sit here on an interview, and it doesn't have to be this picture perfect background, lighting, everything amazing. I would say even before we all were on a shutdown and whatnot, there was still even that impression that if you're online and showing up, you need to be professional, no kids around, no, like you had to go hide them.
Right.
And now it's like, no, bring them on.
Yeah. Yes.
This is life. Life is messy, and you can still reach your goals through it.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Yep. There's still so much you can do. And that's another thing that was so appealing about this to me. Just being able to be flexible and do it while your real life is still going on.
Yeah, like it doesn't need to, there's going to be moments where you prioritize it, but it doesn't need to transform how your day-to-day looks. You get to decide what that looks like.
Yep, exactly.
Which is cool. How is your husband respond to this when you first brought it up to him?
He was very supportive. I think he was kind of like, "Oh, really? You're doing this at first?" Because, like I said, he would bring up ideas before I'd be like, "No, that's too risky. That doesn't." And this, I mean, my personality, I'm definitely an introvert. Like I said, I hardly even posted on my own social media, like personal social media before this. So he was like, great, go for it if that's what you want to do. And now, that we're seeing results, he's like super supportive and excited for me. And
yeah, that money always changes that.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
So he was bringing you ideas. So he was open to things beforehand, before you found this, which is, so he already was in that mindset of let's do more, let's bring in more streams of income. I think you would be great at something that's yours.
Right.
And was looking for that. So that's really cool. That
helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go back to Instagram.
Yes.
Because for some people, it's just the nasty beast they feel like they can't grow. Just like some people feel that way about TikTok or Facebook. What has worked best for you? Is it a mix of posts and stories? Like, what is your routine that's really helped with growth?
Yep. So yeah, I would say a mix. And at the beginning, I did focus more on some side hustle videos, and that is kind of where I got more traction. Some of those kind of blew up. But it's interesting because people talk about going viral and it's like overnight they got 1 million views and so many followers. And that didn't really happen for me. It was like one of my first videos that kind of got more traction. It was like a week or two later. And then all of a sudden I'm noticing like it's popping up again and more people are watching it. And then all of a sudden I'm getting more followers. So I just thought that was interesting because it didn't seem like the way that it goes for most people. But
Yeah.
um, I think having those side hustle videos helped bring in the people, but then having the mix of like, this is who I am, this is where I came from, this is what I'm doing, and more like real, showing who I am. That is what is helping people stay and hopefully, become interested. So definitely a mix. And I know people have talked about this before too, but I like the DM, the messaging system on Instagram. And so being able to communicate with people really easily has helped a lot. And I really do try to like respond to every comment, every DM, and really um, interact, answer questions. That's a big
That could be a
part.
lot of DMs.
It's a lot. It can be a lot. And it can seem overwhelming, and sometimes it's easy to just like walk away from it and be like, I can't, this is so much, I
Mhm.
can't do it. But at the same time, if you just work on it daily and have that
Mhm.
scheduled in your time, then it becomes a much more manageable. And then,
Do you
yeah,
engage with people that comment? Do you respond back? Do you go like their stuff? What is your process as far as IG engagement all around?
yeah. So in some of my videos, I am like ask as my call to action, asking people to comment
Mhm.
ready or start. And so I think that helps. And so I'm always responding to those, or if anyone's commenting with questions, I'm always responding. Um, I need to get better, I think, at going into other people's profiles and commenting and doing that. Like I said, it's, you can only do so much. So we're doing the
Absolutely.
best we can with that. But
And what you're
I
doing is
definitely,
working, so it's all
yeah,
good,
yeah,
right? But there's
yeah,
always something more you can do.
sure.
That's just what marketing
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
And it's not allowing yourself to get to the overwhelm of being paralyzed
right.
and
Yeah,
no longer
that's not
taking
good.
actions. You just go, this is what I can do. This is what fits
Hmm.
into my schedule.
Yep, yep. And that's what I love about this too. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of things you can be doing, but you don't need to do them. And if, like, the whole reason why I'm doing this is for the time freedom. I mean, obviously the money too, but because it fits in with my schedule. So to I I've had moments where it's like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. But it's like, wait, I
Mhm.
can do what I can do. If I want this to be something for the long term, then I need to make it work for me. And this is what works for me right now. So
I
just
love
having
it.
that attitude helps a lot, I think.
Yeah. And just being committed to the attitude too.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. I'm not going to
Hmm.
worry about what anyone else is doing. I'm
Right.
not going to worry and compare myself every day
Yeah.
to someone
That's a
else
big
because
one.
that it's actually moving your focus to
Right.
if you only have an hour and 50 minutes is
Yeah.
worrying about what everyone else is doing that you're not, you're,
Hmm.
you're only spending 10 minutes on your business. And is that enough?
Right. Yep. That's a big, and that was you know, looking at others who maybe started around the same time as me and they were getting more traction or having more success. Um, that was, the mindset part of this is huge, I think. And that's what I love about the training and the community here is that really helps um, bring your focus back to like, why am I doing this?
Mhm.
And even if I'm not having as much success as that person, is it so worth it to me? Obviously, yes. So I need to keep going. This is my own thing. I'm not, I don't need to compare. So
Yeah.
that's where the show like has come in huge for me. I still listen to it regularly, but like
Mhm.
especially at the beginning where I was struggling with like, oh, am I doing the right things? Is this right? I haven't seen, results yet. What's going on? Just being able to listen to other people's stories and get encouragement from that was such a huge thing for me. So
Yeah. I
I'm
think it's
so
easy
thankful.
from the groups or to assume when you're just scrolling everybody else
Yeah,
had overnight success and I
right.
don't. And the reality is
Hmm.
that's not the norm. The norm is it takes time. It
Yep.
takes time to learn. It
Hmm.
takes time to switch your focus from comparing to being
Hmm.
really like confident in yourself and in your why and in your goals. And it takes time to let that come through in your content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you did spend 50 minutes focusing on someone else, that video you made in that next 10 minutes is probably not so great. You might be
Yeah.
not have the energy you need, not
Right.
have the attention it needs. Those are all little factors. Our mindset
Hmm.
changes how we appear on camera, even, or the
Yeah.
effort
Yeah.
we put into that clip that we're filming.
Yep.
So it goes back to, what can I do to put my focus solely on me, my why, my future, my family,
Hmm.
go all in.
Exactly. Yep.
Did
Yep.
you struggle with that a lot at the beginning, or was it a really easy thing to be like, this is all for me?
No, I definitely struggled with it. I mean, I knew I wanted to do it and I knew I was ready to give it my all, but then um, you don't you don't really have much to go on as far as your thoughts. All you can see is like what other people are doing sometimes, and you're still just trying to establish what you're doing. So, of course,
Mhm.
like it's great to get inspiration from other people, but you also have to draw the line at um, and you just don't know if it is going to work for you or how soon
Right.
it's going to work for you. I do believe that if you keep going and really are putting your all into it and stay consistent, that you will see success. But the mindset is huge in that time while you're waiting. And each day can feel like forever while you're waiting for something to
Mhm.
happen. Um, but that's also the exciting thing is like you just never know. It could be tomorrow, it could be
Right.
later today that you see something great or crazy happen. So that's also I mean, you have to take the good with the bad with that. And that is part of
Mhm.
having your own business like this and venturing out. So,
Sometimes it's just putting the focus on, I'm doing something more with my day,
mhm,
not necessarily making money.
right.
That'll come. But
Hmm.
today I have something I'm putting my brain focused on that is healthy.
Yeah.
It's learning a new skill. It's if sometimes, I don't know, for me, when my kids were young and I had 3 kids under the age of 5, I needed something that could pull my attention and my brain to something else that wasn't
Yeah.
just changing diapers.
Yep. That is a big
I don't
one
mean that
for
in a
sure.
bad way. I loved those
No.
times in that moment, but I needed something that was mine,
Yep.
and that I felt like I was still growing as a person.
Right.
And then I could show up to them better.
Yep.
It wasn't anything that I saw 10 years down the line. It was in that moment, oh, I'm doing something that's just mine right now.
Hmm. Hmm. And that does not have to come, that feeling does not have to come from results. It can come from like, I am doing my best and I'm working hard at this. And you can see, what you have a visual of what you're doing, your social media accounts. You can see all the videos you've made and the time and the work that you've put into them. And that is something,
Yeah.
um, yeah, to show for your work as well.
And don't you see like your progress too? If you were to go back and watch your first set of videos
Yeah.
and like the ones you posted this week,
Right.
just how they've
Yeah.
changed, and you don't realize the growth you've had till you do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yep. Yep. It's a
I,
big,
it was a
and
few
it's,
months
yeah.
a few months ago I saw like one of the first funnels I ever built years ago. I think it was a long time
Yeah.
ago. Like ClickFunnels just came out,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was one of the first funnels in there, and it was a freaking shit show. It was a mess.
Oh, yeah. It is fun to look back and see the growth you've made for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And you haven't been doing this that long. It's
No,
it's
no.
still
Right.
brand new. So it's
Yep.
putting in another 365 days. Imagine where that will be, where you'll be
Right.
then. And then
Right.
2 years, 3 years. And that's where, you know, that's what's beautiful. And you forget where
Yeah.
you were.
Right.
Even 3 months ago, you forget
Yeah.
where you were at the
Yeah.
start of the challenge.
Yep.
But if you remember and can try to remind yourself, it'll help build content, build more confidence, all
Yeah.
of that.
Yep.
So
And to
what's your,
remember that it is long term like
yeah,
that. People get so caught up on the short term, not seeing results, but it's like, this is the long haul.
Yeah, it's taking quitting off the table.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
taking this is this is short term
Yeah.
off the table and going, like, this is a part of my life, just like you would when you get married or you have kids. You're not like, oh, I'm just going to try this parenting thing for a little bit, you know?
That's a great analogy. Yeah.
You can treat your business with the same mindset of
Yep.
there is no quitting. It's
Right.
figure it out.
Yep.
When your kids are driving you crazy, you figure it out.
Exactly.
um, and this is the same when you can get to that place. I think that's really where that's what stalls people out the longest is when they still hold that quit card on the table.
Yep. Yep. Then it's like a matter of when is it going to happen? I feel
Right.
like.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
now it goes back to focus mindset and you're
Mm-hmm.
focused on the wrong thing.
Right. Yep.
And then that comes through. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
love this conversation.
Good, me too.
You're so easy to talk to and talk through,
Good.
things that people are really struggling with.
Yeah, yeah. And that was my hope. Yeah, like I said, this show has been so helpful for me. So that is just what I hope to do is help others, definitely.
What's your advice for someone that's just in the challenge right now?
I think again, I'm gonna go back to mindset because it's
Mhm.
like if you're viewing this as like, I don't, maybe, um, and I get maybe you're still exploring it while you're going through the challenge and figuring out if it's right for you.
Yeah, totally.
But if it's something for me, I knew it would be a struggle. I knew it would be hard for me because it's just not like my personality to be on videos or social media. But if you like I also knew if I didn't try it, I would regret it and think back to it and think what would have happened if I would have tried it. So having the mindset of like I am giving this my all, I'm going to do this and do
Mhm.
it the best way I can. Um just having that attitude going into it, I think really changes how you absorb the information and then what you do with it.
When you first started knowing you have a busy schedule, did you have to like schedule in each day to get started, or was it that part easy to just plug it in at random times?
I did have to like schedule it in a bit, and it meant, not having my downtime, my normal downtime of like reading or watching TV at night. I was doing this instead. But
Mm-hmm.
also, you're also excited to get started, so that helps.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, you do have to make some sacrifices in your schedule because most of us have busy schedules. And I know, especially for those who are already working a full-time job, like fitting it in is difficult, but if you want it, you will find a way to make it happen.
Wake up 30 minutes earlier or
Yeah,
stay up
yeah,
30 minutes longer
right.
or don't binge Netflix at night or maybe just one episode instead of four.
Right, right. But it forces you to be more efficient with your time, which is also not, and it's just a period of time where you're doing that, where you're
Yeah.
getting set up. So like
Mhm.
knowing, I'm doing something to better myself, and yeah, it made me be more efficient with my time, which was not a bad thing for me.
Right. That's a great reminder. I The beginning stages of building your funnel, getting
Hmm.
everything kind of situated, getting used to a schedule, getting used to putting out content, and just getting used to editing video.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it isn't forever.
right.
It's
Yeah.
just that little season of your business. That's such a great reminder. Like you'll move past this.
Hmm.
You'll
Hmm.
have new challenges, but it won't
Yep.
be like this. It will adjust as you keep going. And I
Yep.
think, as I talk to people and I look back, I think some people feel like this is what it is forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's totally not. And as you overcome those things, I feel like it does give you more confidence to tackle the next challenge. And that's where it's important not to bite off like all of it and feel like you have to overcome all of this at once. Like each
Yeah.
step, just do one more next step. And then you have a little more confidence like, okay, this is a problem I'm facing, but I know that I have the tools to figure it out, or I can ask people. I have resources.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and half the time, some of those things that seem like such a big challenge, like for me at least, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I've put it off. And then I finally do it, and I was like, oh, that
It
really
wasn't
wasn't
that
that bad. Yep. Like, why didn't I do that sooner?
Yeah, one of the biggest roadblocks is, building the funnel or deciding I'm just going to sit over the next 3 weeks of which funnel building software to use.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't care. It's
Just get
not the
started.
software
Right.
that converts.
Right.
So you just got to pick one.
Yep.
So
And you
did
can always
you
make
battle with that,
changes.
or did you just pick and move on?
I just picked and moved on.
Wow.
And you can always change things. Like you're
Yeah.
not ever stuck, even with like videos. Like so yesterday's videos kind of flopped or you didn't feel great about them. There's another chance today and the rest of this week. There's lots of opportunities to, you're not stuck in what you've already done.
Yeah. So true. And use it as a tool to learn from.
For
All right,
sure.
why did this not go?
Yep.
And don't make the same exact video or a type of video
Yeah.
again. Like
Yeah.
go back to what was performing for your audience, because that's
Hmm.
key.
Yeah.
That's why we can't just copy everyone else, because everyone
Right.
has little nuances to their own audience of
Yeah.
what they respond to.
Right.
And so you always, marketing is testing. That
Yeah.
there, it's like this interchangeable in the dictionary almost.
Right.
Nobody tells you.
Yep.
All of marketing is testing.
Right.
Test all the things all the time, and see where it takes you, and ultimately listen to the people that are responding to your
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
What are they liking? Okay,
Right.
let's make more of those.
Yep. Yep.
Love that. Love that. So with TikTok, so
Mhm.
you're just over 1,000 followers on TikTok,
Yeah,
right?
like 1,500. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I actually just sat in on the hot seat call with Becca
Hmm.
Monday,
Yeah.
and she was talking about just starting a brand new TikTok over. So
Yeah.
I might just like do that. Like it's all like I said, you always have a chance to change. So if this wasn't working, and yeah, I feel like I'm kind of stagnant with my growth there. So
Hmm.
maybe, there's always new things you can try and see
Yeah.
how it works.
Where do you edit your videos at?
I do edit in TikTok. I do
Okay.
feel like it's
It
the
is a pretty
easiest.
phenomenal editor, I
Yeah,
gotta tell
yeah,
you.
yeah. It's so easy. And once, it didn't take too long to learn how to use it and where everything was. And now that I know it, it's just comfortable to be able to edit there. Yeah.
Yeah. So we edit there, pull them
Mm-hmm.
down, post on IG
Mm-hmm.
and Facebook,
Yep.
and go from there. What a
Yeah. Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Simple. You just got to keep doing it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, that mindset of like, oh, what am I have to create so many more videos this week, but there's always places, like you said, to get inspiration from. So
Hmm.
you just have to look for it.
I think one of the things I like to do is don't even look within your niche.
Yeah.
Look on the platform of top creators,
Mm-hmm.
and don't look at their content as, what is the hook they used?
Mm-hmm.
What's their call to action that they're using?
Mm-hmm.
How are their videos being edited and cut? What are the
Yeah.
angles they're using?
Mm-hmm.
That's really what we have to start looking at when we're looking for inspiration too.
Yep. Yep.
Instead of just going, oh, this is the topic, so I'm going to do that exact topic. I'm going to follow those words, and I'm
Yep.
going to just sit there and do nothing else. A
Yep.
lot of times it's those other nuances of what's the hook, what's the call to action, um, and then how are they editing it, videoing it, doing quick cuts and different angles and things like that, and see how those types of changes,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
your audience responds to them.
Exactly. Yep.
Very cool. Well, I've loved this conversation. You've
Yeah,
been
me too.
amazing. I know you have a little one somewhere behind you off camera,
Yeah.
but you definitely need to come back. Like I said
Yeah.
right before we went live, it was so nice to put a name to the face,
Yeah.
and have a real conversation with you since I've seen
Yes.
your name and I've seen your content and all of that good stuff. And you're doing amazing. Keep going. And what a great person to have in our community and a
Well,
great example of mindset and consistency. And thanks for sharing this morning.
thanks so much for having me. It was such an honor. Like I said, I listened to the show a ton, so it's so fun to be able to be on here myself.
Yeah, well, you need to definitely come back,
Okay.
meet Dave, all of that good
Yeah,
stuff, and
I'd love to.
keep us posted. And if we don't reach out to you, reach out to us. We would love to have you back.
Okay. Sounds good. Will
All
do.
right. Take
Thanks so
care.
much, Joanne.
My
Okay.
pleasure.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. If you missed any of that, please go back and watch the entire episode. You can follow Rachel on TikTok and Instagram at Financially Free Mom. No periods, no hyphens, no underscores, all connected. Financially Free Mom. Go give Rachel a follow, comment, like her stuff, let her know that you saw her on Wake Up Legendary. And once again, we will be back tomorrow with another amazing guest. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Go out there and take some action. Stay legendary. Peace.